We are with the head basketball coach of the men's team here at Johnson County, Mike Jeffers. Mike, thank you for joining us. How was your break, time off?
Yeah, what time off? We played. We're not like everybody else. We didn't get any time off. Guys stayed here, and we had a classic over at Penn Valley, and went over there on Friday and Saturday, and had two really good games. First game against St. Louis Forest Park. They were coming off basically their first win of the year. They beat Kaskaskia over in Illinois in overtime on Tuesday, and we got them on Friday. Very athletic team, not real big, but very athletic, very quick. They really, their defense on the ball is very good. Their defense in pressure, probably one of the best pressure defensive teams we faced so far. But we were able to use our backdoor cuts, our high post offense to get a lot of layups and some, a lot of transition stuff. We had 39 baskets. I think we only made 5 threes, but we had 34 made baskets within 5 feet of the basket. So we used that pressure against them to get a lot of backdoors and easy buckets going to the basket. Very athletic team. We won 97-61. We shot the ball, very high percentage. I think both games against Forest Park and Graceland, we shot about 58% from the floor.
I know you don't want to go back to last year as much. You touched on this a little bit in the last press conference, but losing all these players and just getting off to this fast start, does it automatically just build a lot of momentum and a lot of confidence on Kyle Speed and all these young studs on your team?
I think we're building confidence. We look at the schedule, what we know, our December schedule with Allen County, Indy coming up this week, then Heston and Brown Mackey the next week, and then finishing at Penn Valley. That our December schedule is a lot tougher than our November schedule. And then we'll go into January, and our January schedule will be tougher than our December schedule. So the schedule was kind of set up that way, knowing we were going to have a really young team, and that if we could play really good basketball in November, maybe we could win some games and get off to a really good start. I don't think anybody could have predicted we'd be off to a 7-0 start, but I thought we could get off to a good start with the guys that we've got on our team, the talent level we have. They've done a really good job of buying in and getting on the same page, and I think both games at the Penn Valley Classic, I think one game we had like 24 assists against Forest Park, but then against Graceland JV we had 28 assists, and that's really sharing the basketball when you can get 28 assists out of 44 baskets.
Despite the 7-0 start, what is it that you want this team to improve on in this December month and the January month and so on?
Well, I think the main thing we need to improve on is just consistency. We scored 97 against Forest Park, and we came back on Saturday and we scored 111 against Graceland. But that's kind of misleading because the score after 10 minutes, the score after 5 minutes was 10-7. The score after 10 minutes in the first half was 10-7. Neither team scored in that second 5 minutes of the first half. So this team put up 46 points in the second 10 minutes of the first half and then put up 101 in 30 minutes. So our scoring has been high. I don't ever remember one of our teams coming out in 6 of the first 7 games we've been over 90 points. And but we've got some offensive weapons. We actually have probably, except for up front, and we're figuring out how to get baskets, without having legitimate back to the basket players. Hayden Parks had a good game against Graceland. He had 13. Ronnie Boggs against Graceland had 31. Kyle Speed had 24 against Forest Park. So, any night it can be a different guy for us. And like Ryan Mogjosh, I think he had 19 against Forest Park and 22 against Graceland. So, he's up to his average about 15 a game. So we've got 4 starters averaging double figures, and about 3 or 4 other guys averaging anywhere from 6 to 9 points a game. So it's been a very balanced team, and honestly, I would rather have it that way. Because when you're a team of only 1 or 2 major players and stars that you go to, those teams are a little bit easier to defend and defeat than a team that's very balanced.
Early on, some of your younger guys, and Kyle Speed a little bit too, they struggled a little bit, whether it was fouls, turnovers, or just making plays out there. Have they made forward progress during these 7 games so far? Yeah,
I've seen our turnovers have gone down. Our defensive ability to recognize certain situations and respond in a team standpoint where we're getting help is a lot better than it was 3 or 4 weeks ago when we started this regular season. Even though we'd had 6 or 7 scrimmages, we knew defense was an area that we had to get better in. And then, we saw a lot of that in the second half of the Brown Mackey game, and then we continued that on into our classic over at Penn Valley where we gave up 61 and 65. Even though they were high-scoring games, we still defended. We still played, and that was one thing I think outside of the first 10 minutes against Graceland, we played 70 minutes of basketball where we played at our level. We didn't, drop to the level of our opponent. And you could tell we were a better team than Forest Park where it was. They were more athletic, but we were a better basketball team. And our guys played at our level and didn't, slide back and play to the level of our competition.
Just one quick question I got for you. It may not be quick, we'll see. But a lot of things are going around in sports right now about running up the score.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know in basketball it may be different for you, but 40 plus points against Graceland. Have you ever received any scuff or anything from opposing coaches? Let me rephrase that. Let me go back. You shouldn't really care what the other coach thinks,
mm-hmm.
but going into a game and let's say it's the fourth period and you're up by 30 or maybe even 40. Do you lay back any, or do you just,
Well, the thing about when we play JV teams, and that's when we schedule a JV game, even though we didn't schedule this one. This was at Penn Valley. It was their classic. We only scheduled 2 JVs. You can go down the conference schedules and look at the other teams, and there's conference schools that are playing as many as 7 JV games. And we've only scheduled 2. We got in a third one at Penn Valley's Classic. But for us, it's never about our opponent. We went 11 men deep with Chris Brasher hurting out right now. We're only playing 11 guys. Dominique, Outley, Travis Ryan, Zach Wheeler, they got anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes against Graceland. I don't really worry about score. Our guys are going to go out and play hard and compete. Just like, it's kind of similar type game, but on a different level. KU and Tennessee Tech last week. KU wins 112 to 75. You can't ask your kids not to play hard because that's what you practice every day. That's what you try to drill into those guys to play hard and compete, and you let the score take care of itself.
Can you get into details on Chris Brasher's injury?
Our practice, I think it was Tuesday or last Monday or Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday's practice. He temporarily dislocated his kneecap in his left leg. It just slipped out, and we were on a defensive drill, and he made a pivot, a turn, and cut, and it just popped out and went back in on him, which was pretty painful for him. He's visited with an orthopedic guy on Monday. He's got a MRI scheduled Thursday, so we'll know a little bit more. Fortunately for him, he's below the number of minimum games that you have to have for a medical red shirt. So he's still in that good area that, we could still file and get a medical red shirt on him.
You don't know how long he'll be out for yet?
He could be out till January, or he might be out the rest of the year. Just kind of wait and see what the MRI shows and how his rehab comes along. He's pretty tough. He wants to play. He'll get out there and work, but we're kind of at the same crossroads we were last year with David Godrich. When David had played in only 4, 5, 6 games and then got hurt and then didn't tell anybody and came back and played in that 7th game and cost him a whole year of eligibility. Where if you stay 6 or less, then you still got a chance for a medical red shirt if you get injured. So,
what do you expect to see out of Allen County on Wednesday?
I expect to see a typical Jayhawk conference team.
Yeah.
They're going to be competitive. They've only played 1 road game in their first 7. That was at Hutch. They played 3 or 4 JVs, and they played some really good JUCO teams at home. They haven't been on the road yet. And to me, this is going to be a similar test to Penn Valley, to Brown Mackey. When we played here, it's going to be another very competitive game. All the guys are looking forward to it. I think we'll be ready to play.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach.
All right, guys.